The gloom was everywhere, pressing down like a suffocating fog that seeped into every crack of existence. It wasn't just a feeling. It was a presence, an ancient, insidious force that wrapped itself around the soul, whispering despair into every waking moment. No one could ignore it, and no one could escape it. People were desperate for relief, for a sliver of happiness that might pierce the suffocating darkness. They turned to anything they could find: drugs, parties, religion, even madness. But the gloom fed Siron their desperation, growing stronger, hungrier, as it watched them claw for escape. It started small. A man in the village built a strange contraption in his basement, a crude machine of gears and wires, promising eternal joy. He called it the Bliss Engine. The whispers said he could finally banish the gloom. But when his neighbors found him days later, his body was a twisted ruin. His face was frozen in a rictus grin, his eyes bulging from their sockets. The machine had torn him apart, leaving his basement walls slick with blood and something darker, something that pulsed and writhed when no one was looking. But the Bliss Engine didn't disappear. It called to others, drawing them into its grasp. Soon, people from all over came to try it, convinced they could master it, that they could be the ones to escape the gloom. The village square was filled with hopeful faces, but none returned the same. Some stumbled back into the light, their skin gray and eyes lifeless, whispering of horrors they couldn't describe. Others didn't return at all, leaving only faint echoes of their screams behind. In another town, a preacher claimed to have the answer. He gathered his congregation under the pale moonlight, urging them to chant strange, guttural prayers. "We will summon the light," he promised, his voice trembling with fervor. But as the chanting grew louder, something answered. The ground split open beneath the church, and a darkness deeper than the gloom itself rose up. It had no form, only the suggestion of writhing tendrils and countless hungry eyes. The congregation's prayers turned to screams as it consumed them one by one, leaving only blood-stained pews and a silence that echoed for miles. The world spiraled into chaos. Every pathway to happiness became a nightmare. Cults sprang up, promising salvation through rituals that left their followers mutilated or insane. Inventors built machines that turned on their creators, grinding them to pulp in their quest for eternal joy. I watched it all from the edges, refusing to fall into the traps that claimed